Yo, what up you stud muffins? Welcome back, and today we got a lot of really good news regarding the PS5. Yesterday we heard that its manufacturing cost is gonna be $450, but today we're hearing that Sony is cutting cost and they are cutting features out of it. I know I just said good news, but this doesn't sound like a good news. So we have an update to the story. I will be talking about it, and we have new reports coming in. We also have Activision in the news. They are refusing. Oh yes, and I will be talking about that. We got new leaks regarding Modern Warfare's Battle Royale. The release date is looking pretty promising, and this new leak that just dropped, it actually given me a lot of hope. So I am pretty positive about it. We're gonna be talking about all of that. We got a ton of news to go over, and I just want to get right into it. As always, I do Call of Duty and all the gaming news. If a stud muffin like you is into that, then subscribe. And recently, your support has been absolutely crazy. I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you dig the video, smash the like button. But first of all, this is something that we heard yesterday. We heard the fact that PlayStation 5 manufacturing cost is around $450. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already heard the story, so not really gonna take a lot of time here because we actually have an update to the situation. And you know what, $450 sounds very plausible. It sounds pretty nice as well, because if that's really gonna be how much it cost to make the PS5, then that tells me that the price of this thing is gonna be almost $500. But that's kind of like what we heard from the leaks. But Sony is planning, dog. They're thinking they got neurologists working under them, they got psychologists working under them, and they are telling them, hey, wait for Microsoft to reveal the price. And that's where I get sus, because obviously Microsoft is gonna be at E3. They already confirmed that they're gonna be at E3. They're gonna have a reveal there, and obviously if you put 2 and 2 together, you get a 3, not a 4, right? So it makes sense that they're gonna be revealing the Xbox price at E3. But what if they are also playing catch with PS5 and Sony? What if they do a reveal at E3 and they still don't reveal the price? I mean, that's gonna be the biggest meme of 2020. You gotta be real. So that's where we kinda at. We know the manufacturing costs, but we do not know the official price. Maybe they're gonna make it $450 like point blank, and they're not gonna take any profit. Maybe they're gonna make it like $469, you know, $470. They're gonna take $20 profit, because this is what this article says. For comparison, the PlayStation 4 retailed for $399 US and was estimated by IHS Market to cost $381 US to manufacture. So they only took about $18. They weren't like really taking profits on the console sales. And looking at now, I mean, PlayStation 4 sold over 100 million units, so they made paper. But normally in business, they like to double the margins, sometimes even triple the margins to make extra moolah. You know, they want to see Benjis come in like a tsunami and like that. But they didn't, because Sony was playing chess. They were actually, you know, competing with Microsoft, where Xbox One had a Kinect and it costed more than PS4. And you know what, normal and casual gamers were like, hey, I mean, PS4 cost a little bit less. And just because of the price, the sales exploded. And of course, Sony had a lot more to give. They had exclusive titles and whatnot. So this time I'm pretty certain that they're really not gonna try to make money on the console sales. Yeah, if they can, if let's say Xbox Microsoft comes out tomorrow and they're like, well, yeah, our console costs $500, then they are also gonna make it so it's either $500 or a little bit less. Maybe they're gonna go with $470, because the real way they're gonna make money is by actually selling the PlayStation memberships, right? That's how they're gonna make money. Now think about it for a second. They took only $18 in terms of profit on PlayStation 4, but they sold about 100 million units, even more than that, and 100 million people, let's say hypothetically 80 million people bought the PlayStation memberships, and Xbox sold about 40 to 50 million units. They did way less in revenue, right? So just think about that. And also, this is a new report that is coming out, and I just want to put it on your screen. New PS5 feature reportedly canceled due to supply issues, and that's where Corona actually gets in the news, because according to a new report, more specifically, it's being reported that Sony was previously planning on including a new mirrorless camera with the PS5, but this had to be cancelled to a shortage of DRAM supply. Now, of course, this isn't like a disaster. I'm not gonna be pouring my water out or anything like that, but when you think about it, they cancel it because there was a shortage of DRAM, and you know, they can put extra DRAM into the console, but that's gonna cost extra money. And if they do that, well, the manufacturing cost will go up, and they would have to price this a little bit more. And they are just competing with Microsoft. They want to make sure the price is good, because because if it's not, that's when people are gonna neglect the console and they're gonna go after something else. So that's kind of like where we at this point. And I know that there are some Jimmies out there, they're like, well, $450, that doesn't sound right. It's gonna be way cheaper, so cheaper equal less quality. Actually not, because here's the thing, if you purchase only one unit off of Alibaba or any Chinese website, China #1, but if you do that, obviously it's gonna cost a lot. But when you bulk it and you're asking for millions and millions of units to be manufactured, the cost will absolutely go down, right? So that's kind of like what's happening. They're buying all of these components, they're manufacturing it in China, and they are asking for a lot more units compared to any SoFlo Antonio out there, right? And speaking of China and Corona, I obviously won't be able to say the whole word on YouTube, but PlayStation 5 production reportedly unaffected by Corona, and that is really a good news. But I mean, don't let your dogs out just yet, because this is what this article says. In a new report that seemingly reveals the cost of the PS5, the aforementioned media outlets notes that the ongoing Corona has had no impact so far on preparations for the PlayStation 5 production. Of course, this could change if the Corona persists or gets worse, but for now, it sounds like Sony isn't too worried about the Corona impacting its business. I mean, oh my god. Interestingly, it's also noted that Sony hasn't decided how many units it's going to produce in the first year. The company is apparently expecting a slow adoption, which could lead to it producing fewer consoles. I mean, if you know that you're gonna be buying PS5 day one, the best thing you can really do here is that as soon as it's revealed, hopefully that gets revealed soon, because by the looks of it, they're playing chess with Xbox, right? They're waiting for them to announce. But as soon as they reveal it, just go out there, man, pre-order that mofo, put money down ASAP, because if Corona really gets worse, well, we're not really gonna see a whole lot of production. On the other hand though, we got Activision in the news, and we got some sad news, because this report confirms the fact that Call of Duty movie is no longer a priority for Activision. And you know what, I gotta pour this down for the boys without actually pouring it, because I don't have, you know, I don't want to wet my place. I mean, water is not wet. But according to the Stefano, who was said to be the director of the Call of Duty movie, Activision no longer sees the movie as a priority for their business in the current moment. Activision Blizzard announced in November of 2015, and that's like right after or around the time of Black Ops 3 release, which was just a god tier Call of Duty minus the microtransactions. But they announced that they were creating the Activision Blizzard Studios to build and create original films and TV shows around own IP project. And apparently the writer of this movie was the Joker movie writer, Scott Silver, who wrote the script for this movie. I personally have not seen the Joker movie, but you know, I'm kind of sad that that's kind of going on. I mean, I wanted to see Captain Price, Frank Woods, all of them on the red carpet. I wanted to see them on the big screen, but obviously Activision had to get their schlongs involved. And speaking of getting their schlongs involved, I mean, in my opinion, this is really a good news, because we're hearing that YouTube paid Activision Blizzard close to $160 million for Overwatch League and Call of Duty League for 3 years. I mean, damn. And this is paper, dog. And the reason I said this is good, obviously, in my opinion, is because Twitch is good for streaming, but YouTube is where the sauce is at, though. That's where the real butter is at. That's where everybody's at. And this is really a good business move. Not only that they racked up $160 million for free, but they are gonna be putting themselves, and they're gonna be reaching a lot more people on YouTube. And before I get to the Modern Warfare's Battle Royale topic, we actually have Dota 2 in the news, and what I'm hearing is that Dota 2 banned over 40,000 players for abusing matchmaking, and I just gotta clap it. You know, I had to do it. But on the flip side, we have new information regarding Modern Warfare's Battle Royale. We have the release date, and we also have new clip, which I definitely won't be able to show. And I do apologize in advance, because if I put this on the video, well, Activision will get their schlongs involved, and rightfully so. But we got a new clip. Somebody was able to glitch their way through once again. I mean, at this very point in time, a lot of people are able to find a way to kind of glitch their way through it. In fact, I was told in the DM, hey, if you want to get like a game going, hit me up. So it's kind of like getting really out there, but this stud muffin was able to glitch his way through in it, and we're discovering that it says beta for Battle Royale Warzone. There's a big fat watermark that actually says beta, so that's actually a good news, and also can be interpreted as a bad news. The good news is that, hey, it's gonna come out, it's gonna be a beta. That means that they're gonna be frequently updating this thing, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be a little bit similar to Fortnite. I'm a non-Fortnite player, but I'm all up for them to calling this a beta and then providing regular updates. I'm all up for that. But the bad news is this: maybe they're calling this a beta because they know that it's gonna have a lot of bugs and glitches, and they're trying to cover their they're like, hey, once we drop this and if people find bugs and glitches, well, we have beta associated, so you know, nobody's gonna be able to take shots at them directly. So that's kind of like where we at. And in terms of the release date, it's really up in the air as of right now, but from in-game teases and in-game Easter eggs, by the looks of it, it's either gonna be February 18th, that's that Tuesday. The Gaming Revolution, the god of leaks, right, he also said February 18th, because recently the homie was sent into another dimension by Activision themselves. So, you know, I gotta actually pour this one down for. But in all honesty, the release date is really up in the air. Some people are actually seeing February 21 in the game, and knowing the fact that Fortnite Season 2 is gonna be on the February 20th, I kind of feel like that it's either really gonna be this coming Tuesday, so right before the Season 2 of Fortnite, or it's gonna be a little bit after, maybe a day after or a week after or something like that. So we really gotta wait and see, but check out some videos on the screen, like and subscribe for more. I'll keep you all in the loops, and as always, double check your doors, keep your dogs in, drink water, not G Fuel, you already know, and I will see you in the next one. Young out.